Hello, beautiful people. Namaste. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I am making this video to talk about mental health and stability. So I have another video on mental illness, and I talk some about gut health and genetics and such. So go and hop over to my channel if you want to watch that video. But this one is really going to be more about how to maintain mental health. So growing up, I was a very angry child. I was in an abusive home and I just was really depressed. I had suicidal tendencies since I was 6 years old and just a lot of bad stuff. But if you want to watch my story, I have a whole other video on that. But why I'm saying this is because now as an adult, I have a lot of stuff I overcome on a daily basis. I've healed from my post-traumatic stress disorder, but I, still get angry and have a lot of different feelings, which everybody does, and it's totally normal, part of the process. But what's not normal and what I think a lot of people with mental illness get stuck in is dwelling in it or bottling up our feelings and just not really dealing with it at all. I know I did that for a while. I know many people who do that. And it's not really an effective coping mechanism. When you bottle stuff up or ignore it, push it down, and don't let yourself feel it or say, oh, this is an unnecessary feeling, I shouldn't be feeling this, it's not right, and you just don't let yourself feel it, it's going to create a cyclical pattern, and these things are going to keep happening, keep popping up, and you're going to keep experiencing episodes and anxiety and all of these negative feelings because you're not dealing with it. We're not dealing with these issues that's causing all of this. So, in order to really help that cyclical pattern is if something comes up in your head or externally, acknowledge it. Acknowledge that feeling. Acknowledge that thought. Don't push it down. Don't box it away. Don't ignore it. Acknowledge it. Smile at it and give it an alternative. So, an example of that would be feeling like you want to hurt yourself or hurt something else. Say, okay, that's probably how I would have reacted in the past, but I'm not that person anymore. So in order for me to move forward, I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm going to do some cleaning. I'm going to take a shower or bath or walk and figure out where in your physical body these feelings are manifesting. Figure out symptoms of episodes before they reach their climax. I know personally, whenever I get angry or anxious, my hands start to go cold and numb. And I can usually tell that about 10 minutes before I actually start to explode. So whenever I start noticing my hands or my feet feeling like that, I'm like, okay, I don't want to get that bad. I need to do something now. And it can be as simple as looking around the room and naming 5 things I see, 4 things I hear, 3 things I can touch, 2 things I smell, and something else. I don't know if that's the correct order, but the countdown of the senses is a really effective way to ground yourself. So I tend to do that, and I also really like noticing, envisioning this vine that grows from the root of my spine all the way down into the center of the earth. And I implemented this vine during a meditation session, and ever since then, it's never gone away. It's always there. It's always there for all of us. We just need to recognize it. And it really helps ground me and stay stable. And so I envision this indestructible, infinite, eternal vine. It can't be broken. It's always there. It moves with me and it connects me to the earth. So that is something that really helps me in moments of distress as well. But other things, when I say stable, I want to clarify this. Stable doesn't mean being happy all the time. Stable doesn't mean not ever feeling sad. Stable, mental stability means, in my opinion anyways, it means being able to observe your feelings and not drown in them. It means being able to be sad, be upset and angry and all of these emotions without getting sucked into them and letting them control you. Mental health, being healthy, means being able to balance these feelings, being able to recognize when you need to be sad. There's going to be sadness in our lives. We're humans, it's what we experience, and it's part of the process. But letting yourself feel that without being like, okay, I need to do other things, I need to not be sad anymore, and kind of forcing yourself not to be sad, that's not effective. At least in my opinion and in my experience, it's not been effective for me. So if I'm going to be sad, I'm going to be sad, and I'm going to let myself be sad. But I'm not going to let myself dwell in the sadness. So that might sound a little contradictory, but I guess it's just really balanced, and you can be sad, but if you're like lashing out on people and, just like not being productive or anything, that's not really effective either. But you can be sad and, do things to help yourself. Find what helps you, whether it be painting, drawing, walking, taking a shower or a bath, cleaning, doing your makeup or your hair, helping yourself in some kind of way, but still letting yourself be sad. So you can do your makeup, and if you start crying while doing that, it's okay, especially if you need to cry. If you start crying, don't push it down, even if you're in public. Just cry, let it out, let those feelings escape you. Let yourself boil over and just release in a productive way. So, I've talked about that. Now, I want to talk about how to prevent things from happening. So, like I said earlier, I was a very angry person growing up, and I still get angry to this day, and, it just happens, and I try my best to prevent it, and I feel like it does get better every time, which is great, and that's how the process should be. Now, one thing that I notice in myself and others is that we tend to make progress, and then when we fall back, we get angry at ourselves or upset with ourselves because we fall back. But that's okay. It's part of the normal process. We are going to make progress and then come back a little bit. But the point is that we recognize it and we continue to move forward. We don't stay stuck in the past. So, what we can do is we can meditate, for one. And when I say meditate, I mean, being consciously aware. You don't have to sit for 15, 30 minutes a day and just be still. You don't have to do that. I don't like sitting still. I like to sway when I meditate and move and wiggle. I do make time for, being still for just a few minutes at least, but, find how you meditate. Don't base your meditation practice on somebody else. I actually have another video on how to find time to meditate, especially if you are a mom like me. There's a lot of relatable stuff in there about, how to meditate when your kid is being crazy. But also, meditate while you're cleaning, while you're washing your hair and in the shower. Meditate while doing mundane activities. And something I really emphasize on is taking the mundane and the spiritual and melding them together is a practice called Tantra. And it's the weaving together of these different lives and making them one. So that really correlates with making everything a conscious act. We can be spiritual while doing mundane things, going to work, driving, painting our nails, cleaning. All of these things can be spiritual if we just let it happen, just be conscious of it. So, other than meditating, something that we can help our mental health is that when thoughts arise or feelings arise, smile at them, acknowledge them, and give them an alternative. So, like I kind of explained this earlier, and that is really, honestly, in my opinion, probably the most effective thing that we can do is really changing our mindset. Our minds are everything. If you are in a negative space and you're dwelling in it and you're just so negative and bad things seem to keep happening to you, it's probably because you are attracting that negative energy. You and your energy is a magnet. So whatever you're putting out, whatever you're feeling, is going to be attracted to you. I had a really bad week one week a month ago, and it just felt like everything bad kept happening. And it was because I let myself take a step back without really being productive and kind of just being upset about what wasn't meant to be. And I finally, picked myself up out of that and was like, that's not how I need to act and feel and behave. I need to, I let myself feel all of what I needed to, but then I needed to be productive. And ever since, things have been looking up. So, really, noticing when you need to be sad and when you need to be picked up is really important. Listening to your intuition and your body is seriously important, but also noticing your mindset and changing your mindset when it needs to be changed. If you are in a constant state of worry, why? If you are constantly depressed, why? Ask yourself these questions. It's not a bad thing, but you need to figure out why. Are you depressed because something bad happened to you, or is it because of the state of the world? Is it because, what's wrong? Like, actually do an assessment with yourself, figure out why. And if you can't find a reason why, then you may need to do some different therapies. I am a past life regression therapist, and I have helped people recover from things like that because our souls, our cells, and our body remember past lives, and something could have happened in a past life that makes you depressed now, and you just need to find that root. Also, doing constant chakra work, at least activating your chakras each day, is really going to help get things moving, stay productive, as well as, Reiki therapy, meditation, conventional therapy is really important. I still go to therapy every 2 weeks, really important in my opinion, especially if you've gone through trauma and have a mental illness. Or if you just need to talk. If you need to talk to somebody that'll listen to you, a licensed psychologist will definitely be the best person for that. So just because we are spiritual people and practice spiritual things does not mean that we shouldn't partake in mundane things and mundane, medicine and everything. So now, mental health can be it for people. People commit suicide because of their mental health, and it needs to be talked about more. It is becoming a more talked about issue, and people are getting help, but people are also getting worse. So if you need help right now, please call the suicide hotline, call a family member, get help if you need it. But also help yourself. Nobody can help you if you don't want to be helped. So taking the initiative within yourself to change your mindset and change your life is probably going to be one of the biggest things that you could do for yourself. I tried taking medicine, and it just made my mental health worse. Conventional therapy really helped me, but the biggest thing was changing my mindset. I went from victim to lessons being learned. I reframed things that other people did to me into lessons that were needed for me to learn and grow. Bad things are only bad in the moment because you don't understand the lessons that were learned. I personally am very grateful for everything that's happened to me in my life. I have been abused, and I've done drugs, and I have done horrible things, but I would not be the person I am right now without those things. And, changing my mindset and reframing those things has been the most positive and liberating feeling ever. So, I did have a meditation up, but I think it got taken down for some reason. But I will film another meditation video sometime soon about trauma and helping get over trauma with meditation. It's called a memory regression, so I will be doing that soon. And if you guys have any other questions, concerns, wanted to talk to me, you can find me on my Instagram, Rising Moon Apothecary, or my website, risingmoonapothecary.com. Please, please, please don't hesitate to message me. I would love to talk. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can also just comment below. So I love all of you guys, and thank you so much for watching this video. Satnam.